Alright guys, so shout out to Spiritual So. For those of you that don't know that YouTuber, I remember he did a video on this topic a long time ago on his YouTube channel, and I just want to touch up and make a video out of it myself on this channel because it's a great topic and it should be talked about. But anyways, we're going to go over why you have 0 friends and don't fit in. I can relate to this topic, like, from the time I spent, I'd say, from 2019 to into 2020. But then, you know, new friends come, old people leave, and it's just like I spent a couple of years, let's just say that, in isolation. And that's when I seen the video. And it's like something's always going to pop up on your feed that you're currently going through. And the truth is, a lot of old people left my life and new ones entered. And there's a big difference between the people I used to be with and the people I'm with now. The people I'm with now, like, we're distant from each other, but it's like they're very real people, but we're distant from each other. And it's not even people from around the world. I'm friends with people from around the world, but it's people from where I come from, and we're still distant with each other. Like, we're so busy with our own things that there's no time to do things all the time. There's not time to hang out all the time. So, and that's the way I like it. And it's like the people I used to be friends with, it's like, it's just too much. It's like that high school mentality that people get stuck in, and you start to go your old ways. And with that being said, I still have people that I'm cool with that I used to be friends with in high school as well. Not every single one of them, but there's a few select people that if I ever see them, we will always be close like that. Like, we will always share a bond. We never went against each other type thing. We never hated on each other. And that's just the way things go sometimes. But anyways, the real reason why you have like pretty much 0 friends and you don't fit in is because you were chosen for something much greater. There's a reason why those things happen. There's a reason why so many people left my life and I was isolated for a long period of time with having like 0 people. Like, and it wasn't like I couldn't. I absolutely could have, but I did what I knew I needed to do, and I followed my gut instinct all the way through on certain things that have happened in my life, and it led me to where I was supposed to be. And even when it comes to like new people and friends today, I stay very cautious of it, and I don't allow myself to drift off. I stay grounded. I stay being myself 100% of the time, and I'm not gonna allow myself to do anything less than that, because I know I'm here and I'm chosen for a greater purpose than to just have friends and waste time and do all this dumb shit that people do. And I understand why people do it. It's just because of the lifestyle they're living. But you might be chosen for something greater than to be doing things like that. So take that as a blessing. Take that as you are blessed and you are being protected and you are highly favored. So don't think anything less than that. You don't want to be fitting in with all these people anyways, because most of the time it is a disaster. And it doesn't end well for anybody, and people are getting used left, right, and center. And you don't want to be that person. You want to be the person that stays true to your path. You want to be the person that ends up coming out on top and not being the one that got used their whole life and then you're left with nothing, because the people you were with that you thought they were your friends, when they ended up being in a position that they wanted to be in themselves, they dipped. They were nowhere to be seen after that. So, and I, with the way things went in my younger days, I knew things were headed that way. I knew people were selfish, and I knew why everything was happening the way it was happening. It's a weird thing, but I was always I was always aware of what was actually happening the entire time in like every situation. So I felt protected regardless of anything. So my intuition led me along the right path and in the right places, and also in some places that I never dreamt of being in, but it was for the greater purpose. And not every turn you take is going to be pleasant. It's just not like that, and that's not the way life is. There's going to be times where it's just you. There's going to be times where you're questioning yourself and your sanity and everything else. And it can get difficult, but understand that that is part of your path. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be some dark turns. There's going to be some dark corners that you have to take and go down. So just accept it and keep going. You don't fall back. You don't look to reach out to anybody for help. You don't do any of these things. Keep going. Just keep going. And know that better is coming. Know that better things are going to happen. And you can't be completely delusional with yourself either. You have to really be on the go. You have to really be pushing it forward every step of the way. And that's what I was able to do during those times. And I knew I was in current positions that I was supposed to be in. And whenever you spend time like that by yourself for a pretty long time, you're so grateful and you're so thankful for all the littlest things after that. For me to hang out with people and for somebody to flake, let's say even to this day, let's say I have a plan to hang out with a friend and we're going to go to the beach or something like this, and then it falls through. So my plan is now done because this person backed out for whatever reason. They could have worked that day and got tired and they don't want to go anymore for whatever reason it is. That does not bother me the slightest bit because I have the time of my life by myself. I don't need anybody. And I taught myself to be happy without needing anybody else. And in high school, it was a completely different story because it pretty much teaches you when you're in school to be codependent, that you must have friends to be happy. You must do this. You must have a girlfriend in high school and after high school, and then get a wife and then do this and then do that to be happy. And it's just complete bullshit. It's just smoke and mirrors. If you really believe this stuff and you think it deeply in your brain, then you will trick yourself into believing it is true. So then when you don't have it, you might feel that way. But little do you know, when you can become independent and you really go in with yourself and you start to do the things that you want to do on a day-to-day basis, which is whatever it is that you do, you're going to understand, you're going to come to the realization that you don't need anybody to be happy. Like, you can create happiness within yourself. You can do all the things you want to do by yourself. And you might feel like you're missing out. You might feel like this or that. You're not working hard enough. And you're not doing enough things that bring you happiness. And it's not something that's just going to get fixed like this. It takes some time getting used to it, because when you go from hanging out with people every single day to just cold turkey, now you're by yourself, now you're doing things that you want to do every day, but nobody else is around, you're not just going to completely be happy, like in a flick of a finger. Like, it takes time to adjust. But once you do, you're going to realize all along that you're going to see holes in your old self. And you're going to be like, damn, like, I'm way better now than I was back then. I'm much more happier now. I don't need these people. And I was hanging out with so many people that I shouldn't have been hanging out with, that was lowering my vibration for their own benefit. So, and when you grow yourself stronger, you're going to get around better people and higher quality people that's actually going to benefit you as well as you are benefiting them. It's not just going to be a one-way street. It's not going to be you hanging out with people that's much more below you, that's sucking your energy dry, and they honestly don't care about you because they're just low-life individuals, and you don't want to be in the mix with them. What you do is you build yourself up. You become high value yourself by fixing your energy, fixing your habits, fixing your routines. You fix yourself. You fix your codependent self. And you come out on top. Now you can hang out with other people. Now you're not insecure like you used to be. Now you can hang out with more high quality people, and you can become successful in whatever things you plan on doing. There's so many other things that you can do that you don't even know you can do right now because you might be codependent. Have fun trying to do anything that's going to bring you fulfillment if you are codependent, because it is not going to happen. If you're codependent on other people to feel fulfilled. You're not depending on yourself to feel fulfilled, if that makes sense. But when you do the inner work, you can now fulfill yourself. When you can fulfill yourself, you're going to attract other people who also fulfill themselves, unless you attract somebody by accident that just wants to leech off you, which is something you should not do, and you should be able to know the difference. You want somebody else in your life that is going to bring good energy, that is not jealous of you, that is not envious of you, or nothing like this. And all these things stems down from going through a period in your life of having zero friends and not fitting in. That is a trap. You do not want to do this. It doesn't mean you're going to be friendless forever. Like in my case, it's not the case. Even when I had zero friends and wasn't fitting in, I was still like talking to people every day at the gym, seeing people in places. I just like I limited that time much more. I stayed away from people much more until I really figured things out within myself and became stronger myself, and then came back a completely different person. Just a much more stronger, established, more polished person. Overall, stronger in every way. And now you might be able to start hanging out with people a little bit more, talking with people a little bit more, making new friends a little bit more, and stuff like this. And even then, you don't want to get caught up too much into that, because it can take you away from yourself again if you get caught up in that codependent place where now you're dependent on hanging out with friends all the time again. You can't get like that. You have to stay grounded. You have to have that balance. You have to have that balance. It's very important. And it's best that you focus on yourself more than anything else. It's more important than friends, family, and all this other bullshit, because all those things are temporary. And I ain't saying family and friends and stuff like this is not important, because you always want to have at least some of that in your life. At least some. And not all the time. Just sometimes. And like I said, you might have to go through a phase where you don't have any of that at all, and it's just you doing your inner work. But it's good, all in all, to have a little bit of a balance of that stuff. And you're focused on yourself. And you have to set boundaries with other people. All the people you have close with in your life, they have to understand you. If they don't understand you, I don't know what to say. They don't really deserve to be in your life, because if they don't understand you and you're trying to make them understand you, they're just choosing not to understand you. So that's a stubborn individual. They're probably toxic, so throw them to the side and continue doing what you do. Plain and simple. People will understand you if they want to. There's a lot of people that misunderstand me to this day. There's a hell of a lot of people that misunderstood me in my past. That's on them. And it's not even my job to make every single person understand me. But if I'm going to get close with somebody, of course, I will give them the time of the day and try to make them understand more of who I am and why I do what I do. And if they just can't do it, they're just not interested enough. If they're not interested enough, why are they in my life? Right? And this is the way it goes. So I say just get your stuff straight. Get your stuff figured out. Know who you are. Figure yourself out. And then you can have more of a balance. But you need you more than anything else. You need you more than you need friends or fitting in, doing all these things that most people do, because it is weakness. And it is the truth. The world wants to make you weak as soon as you come out of the womb. And it is the truth. And you will get walked all over in this world if you stay weak. You have to become strong. If you don't, the world is going to make you cold as ice. And you will get walked on. You will become bitter. You will become pissed off. All these things happened to me, and it made me strong. If you don't make yourself strong, the world will do it for you. And if you can't handle it, you will just stay weak forever and curl up into a ball, and you will never do anything. And that's just the way it goes. There's no other ways around it. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. I kept it 100, and I'm going to get out of here now, and I'm going to do the next video, and I'm going to get some honey so I can gain a couple brain cells back, because it is hot as heck in this living room right now, and it's hot outside at night right now. But anyways, I'll be back.